not to get a Border Collie. Uh, Border Collies can either be the best thing in your life or it can be the worst thing in your life. But the thing that you need to really do is research the breed. They're very workable and they're very pliable with a lot of circumstances, but they're not the dog that you're going to work 8 and 10 hours a day and keep the dog in a cage and come home and not do anything with the dog. They're going to be the type of dog that's going to require some mental and physical stimulations to keep them going and to be able to keep happiness in the home. And the one thing that we really push is that, even now with our rescue situation, we want to make sure that the right dog goes to the right home. For example, we have many applicants that come through here, on a monthly basis, people looking for dogs, and our foster director will try to match up. Do you have a house, apartment? How much do you work? How old are you? It's not anything to do with age, with the exception of the Border Collie. We've had people in their late 60s that would want a puppy. Now, in our situation, we're looking at, can they physically take care of a puppy in that it needs? Now, they would be the perfect couple for a senior Border Collie that doesn't have as much energy. So those are the things that you need to look at. But I definitely would research the breed because, like I said, it will either be one of the best things that you've ever done or one of the worst things for both of you.
Yeah, and that's an important thing to be able to tell people, because I think not only in the case of the Border Collies, but in a lot of different breeds, people really do need to consider that and doing their research before they adopt a pet. It is important. So it's important to have people like you there just in case, they do get into a bind. And I like that you focus on helping people not only with medical, but offering the advice you said via phone calls. And do you do any types of training, or would you just suggest that people try to go to training, or what would you say would be your most requested need for help as far as not medical?
Well, obviously that is, we need to relinquish our dog. Most times it's gone to the point where they have given up. But we do have situations to where people will find us through social media or our website, and they'll say, help, I need some help. What can I do? I can give them basic information, but I always try to tell them that you'll never beat a professional at their own job. And the one thing that if I've learned out of working with either other groups or other professions or trainers is that you need to establish that bond between the dog and the individual. So I recommend that their dog, regardless of what breed that they have, is you need to make sure that you and the dog understand each other, and the dog is going to work off of the vibrations that he's getting from the other end of the lead. And so there's great books to read, but the important part is to not give up. I remember I worked with a Border Collie. Actually, it was a personal dog. We had gone to agility, and I was frustrated. I was ready to say, gosh, I've got a Border Collie. We're not doing very good. And I talked with the owner and of this particular training facility and said, I'm wasting your time and my money. This isn't working. And she said, stick with it, work with it at home. And we went from probably the last of the class to the first of the class because we worked on it. We literally took, minutes every day, and we worked on it, and it just clicked. And even today, this is a senior dog of mine, and she will still look at me, and in her eyes, she's going, what can we do now? And that connection is made. And once you make that connection, it's there forever, and you've got a friend for life.
Yeah, they're highly intelligent. That's a highly intelligent breed, isn't it?
Border Collies, they're, from what I understand, and this changes periodically, probably the three smartest breeds are Border Collies, Poodles, and German Shepherds, and they all kind of go around with each other. Now, Border Collies are a lot more active than, say, German Shepherds and Poodles. Now, they're all great, smart dogs, But what makes Border Collies a little bit tougher is that the drive that they have, that it is a necessity to be fed, and going to have problems.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you wanted to discuss a little bit about puppy mills, and so why don't you tell me about your thoughts on that?
Well, Indiana, and something that a lot of people don't know, Indiana is a pretty big arena for puppy mills. They're all over the north and southern part of the state, and from there, what we try to do is educate. We work with our local spay and neuter clinics on this. We work with anyone that will pretty much listen. But the puppy mill situation is something that it's growing, and it's because people will buy from that.
Mm-hmm.
We've testified in court multiple times. We will go and investigate. We'll work with local authorities to try to educate things like this. Even in my own community, we had a puppy mill of a different breed that wanted to come in, and with that, what they'll do is apply for an application. They'll do these sorts of things, and it's one thing that if you're not vigilant in just education, then sometimes these things slip through.
Yeah, I know there's Petland, I guess, opening up here in our county, and there's all kinds of protests going on about that. So that's a hot topic here as well. Yeah.
Well, if people truly knew where the dog came from, now when you see this dog in the window of the display case, it's cute, but I assure you, in most cases, that's not the home life, and the mom and dad will actually be in much worse shape. In this particular situation that I testified on just a few months ago, the people were very, very straightforward and very honest in their answers, on the questions from the city council, and he plainly stated that after they were done breeding, they'll try to find a home for the dog, and if they don't, then there's not much hope for the dog at that point.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
It is terrible. If you've ever been to one, you'll never forget it. There's sights in my mind that I will never, never, never lose.
Yeah, I can imagine. So we're down to our last few minutes, and I'd like you to be able to talk, because you are a 501c3 dependent upon donations, and I'd like you to be able to, offer the information on how people can, check out your webpage or, be able to donate to you. If you could do that, that would be great.
Sure. Clancy's Dream, we are a 501c3 organization. 100% of our proceeds go toward the dogs. We don't have any administrative fees. Mostly all of our office equipment is either donated or purchased by our owners. The one thing that we do a little bit different, and I guess we don't normally say this a whole lot, but most every dog that we take in has several hundred to several $1,000s of medical bills. For us, we have always looked in this as this is not a business for us, and we do not charge an adoption fee. The only thing that we look for, is a good home, a loving home. There is a contract that states that if there's issues, the dog comes back to us. But if you want to donate, or if you want to check out Clancy's Dream just a little bit more, our website is www.clancysdream.org. We do have a very, very active Facebook page, which is Clancy's Dream. And if you want to look at any of those, our whole stance on everything we do is it's just about the dog. We don't care how much it costs. We don't care how far away it is. We use pilots and paws. We've flown dogs, all over, the eastern United States. And even one of our pilots adopted one of our dogs. And from that, we just want people to know that if it wasn't for the people that really believed in the cause, we would be nothing. It's not that we are the important part of this organization. It's because of the people that care They are the most important part of who we are, is the people that love the dogs as much as we do, and they either foster, volunteer, or donate. That's the backbone of Clancy's dream.
Yeah, it is. The people, the supporters, absolutely. You didn't get a chance to recognize your board of directors. If you'd like to mention anything about them, we've got just a couple more minutes, and you could do that.
Well, we've got a diverse group of board of directors, and with that, they are very hardworking. We've got various people that do various things. Obviously, we have a veterinarian that is an advisor for us. We've got a person that works for Elaine Co., which is an international organization of animal health that one thing that they do is she works with us. We've got homemakers, we've got businessmen, and we've got people that just believe in the cause that we believe in. We've got about 40 volunteers that either foster, transport, or help us in anything that we need done. Again, it's the backbone of the people that really helps us, the behind the scenes. I remember we had a situation in northern Indiana. A breeder just gave up and said, I've got about 20 dogs, and they're full-blooded Border Collies, and I don't want any of them. From that point, what he did was turn them over to us, and we got a group of about 20 people and washed and scrubbed and went to the vet, and it was all done in one day. So it's the people that makes this important. It's not us, it's the people that does this.
Yeah. Well, Ken, it's time to say goodbye, and I really want to thank you for talking with me today. The time goes by really quickly.
Well, thank you, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity of letting people know, who we are and what we do.
All right.
It's an amazing group, just like the ones that you do. I mean, who knows why things are put together in the ways that they do.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, it was nice talking with you, and until next time, please remember that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives, so be sure your pet is microchipped and wearing its ID tags. If it is chipped, be sure that chip is registered and up to date. I'm your host, Patty Giarrusso, and this has been Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.